right, thanks a lot for meeting us this morning. In just a couple of moments, we're going to go over the second quarter 2010 crime statistics. Harold Medlock, the Deputy Chief, is going to cover those, give you a snapshot of what's been going on for the second quarter in 2010. Following Chief Medlock, we're going to have Captain Jim Wilson. He's going to come up here and talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on in the South Division and what his officers are doing out there to combat crime. But without further delay, I want to bring up Deputy Chief Harold Medlock.
Good morning. I'm going to wade through some numbers and tell you a couple of stories as I go through this if I can. For the first 6 months of 2010 through the end of June, the preliminary total for index offenses was almost 17% lower than for the first 6 months of 2009. Property crime has decreased by over 17%, and violent crime has decreased by almost 12%. This year, we have had, for the first 6 months, 33 homicides reported compared to 26 for the same first 6 months of 2009. That's an increase of several cases, and we're frustrated by that. In most of those cases, we are dealing with people who are in a relationship. Both the suspect and victim have a relationship or are known to each other. Very few stranger-involved homicides. The good news with that, if there is good news that could be associated with any murder, is that our clearance rate for the 33 homicides is 79%. We currently have 7 open cases of the 33 that have been reported. And what I can tell you in the grand majority of those cases is that most of those arrests were made very quickly after the incident occurred. All other violent crime index categories experienced decreases, including 916 robberies for this year compared to 1,104 in 2009, a decrease of 17%. 100 rapes have been reported for the first 6 months this year compared to 144 for the same time last year. That's over a 30% decrease. 1,352 aggravated assaults have been reported this year compared to 1,453 last year, and for a decrease of 7%. Burglary overall is down 13.3% for the first 6 months. That includes a decrease in residential burglary of over 5%. That is very important to us and should be to our customers in Mecklenburg County, because if you'll remember, for the first 3 months of this year, we experienced some increases in residential burglary. Our officers, our response area commanders, and our division commanders, as well as our burglary detectives, have worked very, very hard to bring that under control and to begin to show some decreases in residential burglary. We've experienced a decrease of over 30% in commercial cases, commercial burglary cases, that is, 877 this year compared to 1,349 last year. 1,261 vehicles were reported stolen this year compared to 1,790. Over 500 fewer cars stolen in Mecklenburg County this year compared to the first 6 months of last year, a 30% decrease. Total larceny cases declined by over 17%. And importantly, larcenies from auto are down over 31%. That is, 4,592 cars were broken into this year compared to 6,707 last year. Over 1,700 fewer cars broken into this year compared to last year. Again, a testament to the work that our officers in the field are doing, a great testament to the interaction of our citizens in the community who are reporting suspicious behavior, both for larcenies from auto and residential burglary. Another category that has experienced a slight increase is arson. We've had this year 145 cases reported, arson cases reported, compared to 143 last year, a 1.5% increase. I'm going to turn it over to Captain Jim Wilson with the South Division for him to share some information about what they're doing in his division to impact crime. And at the end of Captain Wilson's presentation, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Captain Wilson.
Good morning. My name is Jim Wilson. I'm the captain of the South Division. And the South Division, piggybacking these numbers for the overall city, has seen a 21% reduction in overall Part 1 crime year to date and 25% for this quarter that we just experienced. We had an increase of 6% of residential burglaries, but a 42% reduction in larceny from autos. We attribute these reductions to some of the strategies that we use in the South Division. Every Monday morning, myself and the response area commanders meet and we review the crime not only for the previous week, but that previous week from the year before to see where the trends are, to see where the crime's happening. And because of the size of the South Division, which is 57 square miles and over 141,000 people, we can't put an officer on every street corner. So what we do is we map out where this crime is happening and employ what we call a zone defense. We find the zones in our response areas and in the division overall where the crime is happening, and we deploy resources out there. We don't just put the officers out there blindly. We put them out there with a plan and a goal and actions, and we follow up to make sure that they're doing what we ask them to do. The officers are very innovative. They come up with some of the ideas of their own. And then we review these crimes daily for the rest of the week to make sure that we still have the resources where the crime's occurring. So if the crime moves on us, we shift those resources to where it is. We're greatly assisted with the Research Planning and Analysis Unit of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department that provides us with maps and detailed statistics and analysis of crime patterns and trends. In addition to that, the officers are also able to go onto our computer systems, map out the crime themselves, get it detailed down to the street level, the neighborhood level, a community level, so they themselves can see where it's happening and see where the trends are. And sometimes they'll come to us and say, hey, Captain, you know, we've just had a bunch of larceny from autos off of this area out here. Maybe we need to put some people out there. In addition to this detailed analysis and this detailed planning and the resources that we put at it, we try to partner with the community. We meet with our community leaders on homeowners associations and residential neighborhoods and business associations throughout the month. And we also have created a community advisory board where we bring in community leaders from all over the division, and we meet with them every other month. And what we do is we lay out the crime that's occurred and what we believe as the police department we need to focus on, and then we ask their input. We ask what's important to them. And they have come to us and said that they like us to target larceny from autos and residential burglaries. That coincides with being 50% of our Part 1 crimes approximately are larceny from autos and residential burglaries. So therefore, with their input and with the crime mapping, we're able to deploy these officers and form a strategy to go out and fight crime as a team. It's very important, I feel, to have the community's input because that's who we're out there to serve and protect.